Have you ever wondered what happens when the indomitable human spirit confronts an unstoppable military force? This is the question that the Siege of Masada, a pivotal event in Jewish history, starkly presents. In the 1st century, atop a rugged, isolated plateau in the Judean desert stood Masada, a fortress of last resort for Jewish rebels. Against them, the mighty Roman Empire, an indomitable force that had conquered much of the known world. This wasn't just a battle, it was a clash of ideologies, a fight for survival. On one side, a group of rebels, fervent in their belief and prepared to fight till their last breath. On the other, an empire, relentless in its pursuit of dominance and control. The Siege of Masada symbolizes the desperate struggle for freedom against overwhelming odds. It's a tale that echoes through the ages, reminding us of the lengths people will go to protect their freedom, their culture, and their faith. So what led to this historical standoff between an empire and a group of rebels? Let's delve further. As the Roman Empire expanded, its grip tightened around Judea. This was a period fraught with tension, a time when the air was thick with the scent of impending conflict. The Jewish people, known for their resilience, would not bow down to their Roman conquerors without a fight. This spirit of defiance led to the Great Jewish Revolt, a significant chapter in history that set the stage for the infamous Siege of Masada. The Great Jewish Revolt was a rebellion against the Roman Empire that started in the year 66 of the Common Era. Fueled by a deep-seated resentment against the Romans for their oppressive rule and religious interference, the Jewish people rose in revolt. This uprising, however, was met with overwhelming force, leading to a series of devastating defeats for the Jewish rebels. In 70 of the Common Era, the Romans, under the leadership of future Emperor Titus, razed Jerusalem to the ground. The city, once bustling with life, was reduced to smouldering ruins. The magnificent Second Temple, a symbol of Jewish identity and faith, was destroyed, leaving behind nothing but the Western Wall that we know today. With Jerusalem fallen, many rebels fled, seeking refuge in the fortress of Masada. Masada, located atop an isolated rock plateau in the Judean desert, was a stronghold that offered a strategic advantage. Its towering cliffs and isolated location made it a formidable fortress that was difficult to breach. These rebels, under the leadership of Eleazar ben Yair, were determined to hold their ground against the might of Rome. They were not just fighting for their lives, they were fighting for their identity, their faith, and their freedom. They knew the odds were stacked against them, but they were prepared to make a stand. The stage was set. Masada, with its high walls and determined defenders, was to be the last bastion of Jewish resistance against Rome. The Romans, relentless in their pursuit, were preparing for a siege that would go down in history. The tension was palpable, the stakes were high, and the world was watching. With Jerusalem fallen, Masada stood as the last bastion of Jewish resistance against Rome. In the year 73 AD, the Roman governor Flavius Silva launched his assault on Masada. A desert fortress perched high on a plateau, Masada was the last stronghold of the Jewish rebels, a symbol of their defiance against Rome's might. Silva, with his seasoned 10th Legion, was determined to crush this final pocket of resistance. As the siege began, the Romans encircled Masada, effectively cutting off any potential escape routes. They then set about constructing a massive siege ramp on the western side of the mountain. Composed of thousands of tons of earth and wooden beams, this engineering marvel was designed to bypass Masada's formidable natural defences and bring the Roman soldiers to the fortress walls. The rebels, meanwhile, watched from their high vantage point as the Roman soldiers toiled under the desert sun. They were vastly outnumbered, yes, but not outmatched in spirit. Their leader, Eleazar ben Yair, rallied them with passionate speeches, reminding them of their ancestors' freedom and the importance of their stand against the mighty Roman Empire. In spite of their precarious situation, the rebels demonstrated remarkable resourcefulness in their defense. They conserved their water and food supplies, rationing them carefully amongst themselves. They also launched sporadic attacks on the Roman workers, disrupting their progress and sowing confusion in their ranks. Despite their limited resources, they utilized every ounce of their creativity and willpower to resist their powerful enemy. But as the days turned into weeks and the weeks into months, the situation grew increasingly dire. The siege ramp was nearing completion, and with it, the Romans were inching ever closer to breaching the fortress walls. The rebels stood firm, refusing to surrender, their determination as unyielding as the mountain upon which they stood. Despite their courage, the rebels were vastly outnumbered and outgunned. The Roman siege machine was closing in. The stage was set for the final act of this dramatic standoff. The last stand of the Jewish rebellion at Masada was about to reach its climax. After several months of siege, the Roman troops were ready to storm Masada. It was a day of reckoning, a day that would etch itself into the annals of history as a testament to the indomitable human spirit. The Romans, having built a massive ramp on the western side of the fortress, were now prepared to launch their final assault. They had spent countless hours, sweat rolling off their brows under the unforgiving desert sun, constructing this monumental structure. It was more than a means to an end. It was a symbol of their tenacity, their unyielding determination to quell the rebellion that had been a thorn in their side for far too long. As the Roman legion, a formidable force of disciplined soldiers, advanced up the ramp, the tension was palpable. This was it, the moment they had been waiting for. Their steps echoed through the vast expanse of the Judean desert, each one bringing them closer to their objective. Upon reaching the top, they were met with an eerie silence. The fortress walls that had stood defiantly against the Romans for months were breached, but instead of a fierce battle they were met with a chilling sight, the mass suicide of the Jewish rebels. It was a scene of grim determination and tragic heroism. Rather than surrender and face a life of Roman enslavement, the rebels had chosen to die free. Each one of them had willingly embraced death, leaving behind a fortress devoid of life, but filled with the echoes of their unbroken spirit. The significance of this event cannot be overstated. The Siege of Masada stands as a symbol of resistance, of a people's refusal to bow down to a mightier force. It serves as a poignant reminder of the lengths to which humans will go to preserve their freedom, their dignity, their very identity. It is a story of martyrdom, of sacrifice, and of the power of the human spirit in the face of overwhelming odds. In choosing death over enslavement, the rebels of Masada left a chilling testament to their indomitable spirit. They may have perished, but their legacy lives on, echoing through the ages, a beacon of hope and resilience in the face of adversity. The fall of Masada marked the end of the Jewish rebellion, but its memory lived on. In the wake of the siege, the Roman Empire tightened its grip on Judea, emboldened by its triumph over the Jewish rebels. The consolidation of Roman power was swift and unyielding, a testament to the formidable might of the empire. Yet the Jewish people did not vanish into the annals of history. Instead, they dispersed, their stories and traditions echoing through time and space. They carried with them the memories of Masada, a stark reminder of their struggle for freedom. The siege was not just a historical event, it became a symbol, a beacon of resistance against the oppressive forces of tyranny. The enduring legacy of Masada transcends the confines of history, shaping identities and inspiring countless generations. It is a narrative of resilience, a testament to the human spirit's ability to withstand adversity. The tale of Masada is etched in the bedrock of cultural memory, a poignant reminder of the price of freedom and the courage it takes to defend it. Masada's legacy doesn't end with its fall or the dispersion of the Jewish people. It lives on in the tales told from parent to child, in the books written, and in the hearts of those who believe in the power of the human spirit. It is a story that has transcended the sands of time, its echoes reverberating across millennia. Whether viewed as a heroic last stand or a tragic tale of desperation, Masada serves as a potent symbol of resistance. It showcases the indomitable spirit of humanity, our capacity to endure, to resist, and to hope. It reminds us that even in the darkest of times, the human spirit can shine brightly, illuminating the path towards hope and resilience. From the ashes of Masada, a tale of heroism and sacrifice continues to inspire generations, reminding us of the power of conviction and the indomitable human spirit.